Hello, Aries, and welcome to your May 2026 monthly horoscope. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and thank you for joining me today. So here today we are going to discuss what's happening in June for you. It's an interesting month full of really quite energizing transits. So we'll look at it today, and I follow Western astrology tropical zodiac, and this horoscope is most accurate for your rising sign, also called the ascendant sign. However, you can also watch it for your sun sign or your moon sign if you wish, just to get a bigger picture and a wider perspective upon your life. All right, so here, welcome Aries. We will start from a really beautiful energy. And this is Venus and Jupiter conjunction, which I also covered in the annual horoscopes when I released them around December 2025. So here, Venus and Jupiter conjunction happening in the area of your home at 25 degrees of Cancer. So at this point, Jupiter is nearing its end in the sign of Cancer. It's going to move into Leo at the end of the month, as you will discover. And Venus and Jupiter conjunction is beautiful. It's a beautiful alignment, especially since Jupiter feels fantastic in the sign of Cancer, and so does Venus. So this energy brings some really comforting vibes into your home sphere and into your family relationships as well. So we've got some lovely positive boost of energy in sense of tranquility and peace. So generally some good news, good vibes, positive improvements, possibilities at your home. Definitely keep this transit in your calendar. That's the 9th at 25 degrees of Cancer. Venus rules your second house and your seventh house. This could also indicate for some financial surprises, positive investments, for example, home-related improvements as well. So really beautiful energy to start this brand new month. And then on the 15th, there is a new moon happening in the sign of Gemini, and this is happening at 24 degrees of Gemini in your third house. So here, Gemini, we are still in Gemini season, of course. Gemini energy is versatile, is connected to communication, to movement, and new moons are connected to new beginnings, something fresh, something new. A late degree of a new moon or a full moon very often indicates this feeling of urgency, like now or never feeling, or it could be that you might feel that you're running out of time. This energy generally activates your area of your immediate environment. That's the third house. The third house deals with our connections, also from people, from our surroundings, short distance travel, anything to do with working with your hands as well, like pottery, for example. This is also the area of life connected to decisions, your mindsets, your thoughts, anything to do with learning and teaching, absorbing knowledge, sharing information. So this could be a time of some decisions, and especially since Uranus is also here as of 26th of April. So here, this new moon brings some new beginnings into the sphere of communication, into the sphere of your mindset. And it is connected to writing, could be connected to writing, podcasting, a new social media account, maybe a website, a blog, a course of study, whatever it is. Your mind is very busy, very stimulated, full of ideas, and this is a great time for planting seeds connected to anything to do with communication, writing, information. But at the same time, decisions, and pay attention to your thoughts. Uranus is here. You've got so many brilliant ideas probably. And there are shifts happening around you as well. This energy wants you to adapt. But here, Gemini energy can be or feel quite scattered. So try to focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, it might be difficult to achieve all that comes into your mind around this new moon. So here, stay grounded and practical. Now, at the same time, we've got on the 19th, Chiron enters Taurus. A really interesting dynamic here, because Chiron doesn't change signs very often. It's been in Aries since around 2018 in your first house. So it could feel like a big relief when Chiron leaves your first house after so many years. And now the focus with Chiron in your first house was on your identity, on self-confidence, self-assertion, healing any possible wounds that hold you back from moving forward with your life, with your goals, with your objectives overall. And this energy could have also given you opportunities to improve your confidence, your ability to assert yourself in certain situations overall. And now Chiron is moving into your second house, into Taurus. This is a very different energy. Taurus is an earth fixed sign. Now, bear in mind, this year, this is just a little flavor, a little taste, same as we experienced last year with Uranus, Saturn, Neptune. They also entered brand new signs temporarily. So for this reason, it's really essential to pay attention to what happens during those previews, I will call it previews, because this can also give you a little understanding of what is it that you can expect to happen from 2027 and onwards. So pay attention to the energies from mid-June until September, especially here, what's happening in your area of finances, resources, financial security, financial stability as well. Here, the second house, Chiron, will also change and transform your relationship with money, with wealth, your approach to spending, saving money. Generally, your Chiron transiting this area of your life will also make you more aware of any setbacks, any wounds, unhealed emotions connected to your ability to earn income, attract wealth, for example, as well. This is all connected to your money situation, to your income, to your relationship with money, but also your security and stability in your life. There could be situations and memories coming up to the surface, especially from the early stage of life. The time when you were a child, and the memories of how you experienced stability and or security, of course, and how it affected your adulthood or adult life. So we will explore it further very, very soon, but here, this is just to give you some heads up. Now, at the same time, of course, the second house has self-worth and a sense of self-worth, self-esteem. And here, this kind of energy is also here to help you heal any wounds connected to self-worth, for example. And you will be probably taking a closer look at your values, at your personal values as well. All right, so here, Chiron and into Aries on the 19th. Then on the 28th, we've got Mars, your ruler, changing signs. Whenever Mars changes signs, this is a big shift of energy for you, Aries, because Mars is your ruler. Mars is the planet of action and motivation drive. And as your ruler, whenever it changes signs around 6 to 8 weeks, this is when you feel this shift quite substantially. And this is your third house. And so we've had a new moon here on the 15th. And of course, Uranus entered this area of your life on the 26th of April. And now here we've got Mars. Mars is going to push at the energies that would have already been activated by both Uranus and the new moon energy. So that's on a side note. But here, Mars in Gemini, the third house. First of all, here, this is when, because Mars is a fast-moving energy and Gemini is a very versatile and dynamic energy in many ways. Here, of course, you've got a beautiful connection with your Aries ascendant. That is sextile, so that's great. Air and fire signs connect harmoniously. So this is a really positive aspect of this transit. Of course, Mars in the third house, the first thing that comes into my mind is driving. So if you're planning on taking any trips within your country or short distance travel and destinations, if you will, then make sure that you check your speed, because very often we rush and we drive faster than we realize, even unintentionally, and this can cause us getting a fine. So definitely pay attention to your speed, pay attention to displaying your parking tickets in a visible spot. And also, generally with Mars in the third house, Mars makes us more impatient. Mars makes us faster as well. So we want things to be done quickly, and sometimes we might overlook certain details. So also, if you're going to be working on anything that requires attention to detail, pay attention. Take extra care, because it's easy to overlook something important. But at the same time, Mars in the third house, it makes you more of a confident communicator, assertive. It increases your sense of confidence, it increases your sense of assertion as well. But at the same time, at times it's easy to lose patience, especially during hot heated debates. So keep this in mind, because Mars can make you more aggressive or impulsive at times, especially if things get out of control. And at the same time here with Mars generally, yes, it can increase, and generally Mars here, it changes how you communicate, but also it's always a lot of movement, communication and emails, social interactions, maybe opportunities for networking, socializing, getting involved in some community work. Mars generally speeds things up. So it's a good time for working on a website, working on a blog, complete a course of study. So anything to do with communication, your mind, writing, reading, learning, this can be achieved in a pretty quick way here. During Mars transit in the third house, watch out for any power dynamics, especially with your siblings or neighbors or next of kin. And we've got Mercury turning retrograde on the 29th. So the end of the month is pretty active. We've got literally 4 events in a very, very, very close proximity. And that's Mars entering Gemini, Mercury retrograde on the 29th. So here on the same day as the full moon in Capricorn, also on the 29th, and Jupiter into Leo, moving into Leo on the 30th. So here, lots of different energies at the end of the month. Really busy time. So first of all, full moon in Capricorn at 8 degrees of Capricorn on the 29th of June. So full moons, of course, bring a certain degree of a situation to light. They illuminate, and that's your career area, professional life growth, development. Something in your career needs your attention. Something in your career needs to be addressed. This full moon gives you more clarity about where you're going, but because Mercury is retrograde, you might be dealing with some things from the past. Now here, since Mercury retrograde is your 4th house, so that's where the solar point is present as well at the time of this full moon. This also tells me about the dynamic here, because of the full moon, with the sun in the 4th, in this case scenario, and the full moon in the 10th, there's any imbalance between these areas will be very evident, pushing you to implement the necessary changes to establish more harmony. But at the same time, since Mercury is retrograde in your 4th house, this could also indicate that some unresolved home-related matters from the past might resurface around this time, and here forcing you to address them, especially if you feel like you've dedicated too much energy, time into your career sphere. Then there could be a situation in your home that might require your attention, or with a family member. It could be that you might actually crave some peace and quiet, and here that's what it could indicate, like a need to retreat. But at the same time, the full moon in the 10th house often turns our attention onto our career growth, development, career direction. This could be also a really interesting time for some Aries, because during this time, you might receive some kind of recognition or some good feedback, or maybe a situation related to your career could be reaching a turning point, could be needing your attention. Whatever the scenario with the full moon in the 10th house here, there is often a movement, a momentum. If you've been awaiting some important news or emails, definitely keep an eye on your inbox. For some, this could be a new job or their job application being processed or approved. Whatever it is here, these full moons in the 10th house, they increase our visibility, because this area of life is really illuminated by the full moon. And this year here, this full moon occurs in your 10th house on the 29th. Now with Mercury retrograde also, Mercury retrograde starts at 26 degrees of Cancer on the 29th of June. This is connected to your home. This is connected to your emotional stability, security as well. And of course, it's happening at the time of this full moon as well. For this reason, you might be dealing with a situation that has already occurred in the past, something from the past, something unresolved possibly as well. But at the same time, this is a good time for returning to some DIYs or some project ideas that you didn't have a chance to complete within your home. Remember, Cancerian energy needs that sense of comfort. So this is also a good time for taking a closer look at your home situation and your family situation. If there's something that needs to be addressed, resolved, then here the full moon in Capricorn and also the Mercury retrograde is pushing you for that resolution, for things to be resolved, addressed, but at the same time, it's a really good time for getting back to some unfinished projects, ideas related to home improvements. This could also see you reconnecting with your family members. This could see you also perhaps some unresolved issues, situations connected to your home and family dynamics might resurface. So for this reason, it's really essential to resolve the issues that come up during retrogrades. The retrogrades, because they will come back. They will keep coming back until you resolve them or address them. But every time they come back, they are more tricky to approach. So deal with things as they come up, if you can. But at the same time, with Mercury retrograde, this is a time of reconnecting with family, reviewing your home situation, getting back to some old projects from the unfinished project from the past. So it's all about that family nurturing energy. Maybe some ideas, plans connected to your home might resurface as well around this time, since Mercury is a planet of your communication, mindset. So that's also the ruler of your 3rd and the 6th house. All right, so we end the month with a Jupiter moving into Leo. So that's the highlight probably of the month. Also here, Jupiter in Leo, to almost 12 months of this beautiful energy activating your area of the 5th house. So this is the area of conception, children, romance, creative self-expression. Now for many Aries rising, since you also have the nodes shifting to your 5th and to 11th house. The South node will move into Leo, the North node into Aquarius in July. Then in August, you have a solar eclipse in your 5th house. Next year, you have eclipses across Aquarius and Leo axis as well. Very often with the activation of the 5th house, and of course, simultaneously the 11th house at some point as well. But specifically here with Jupiter in Leo, this could mean for many Aries rising that you'll get pregnant, you'll be thinking about getting pregnant. You might be thinking about family planning. You might be thinking about having your own family. Now, at the same time, this is also a great time for new interests, new hobbies, new passions. Leo is connected to creativity, self-expression. You might be really craving engaging in something where you can express yourself, your creative urges, artistic urges. This energy also gives a boost to your romantic side of your life as well. Of course, now you've got Saturn and Neptune here during this time, opposing your descendant energy, which could also generally change your approach to love and relationships and how you relate to others. But here with Jupiter in Leo, this energy really wants, it craves fun, it craves creativity. You might feel like going to see some plays at the theater, or an opera show, for example, or a show at an opera, for example. So this is an amazing energy for self-expression, creativity, freelancing as well, self-employment. This is also ruled by this area of your life. This is the area of life generally with the activation of Jupiter transiting your Leo house. This is a really fun transit that it's great for engaging in activities that really increases your sense of happiness and fun. It's a really beautiful energy, especially since Saturn and Neptune are now in your first house. Especially with Saturn, things can feel quite heavy, and it might be that your responsibilities have increased and you've started a new chapter in your life. So here, Jupiter entry into your fifth house is a great time for really enjoying life and for starting hobbies and interests that can really increase your sense of happiness and joy. So thank you so much, Aries. Have a wonderful month ahead, and bye for now.